Good morning. It's Monday morning, April 22nd. This morning, I was in Job, chapters 11 through 14, and the verse I wanted to share on was chapter 11, verse 13. Job, chapter 11, verse 13. If you prepare your heart, you will stretch out your hands towards him. Here Job has had a lot of really terrible things happen in his life. And so his friends had come and sat with him for days, and now they began to speak with him. And so he's sort of in a debate between him and his friends. It's interesting because when we're in a debate, we don't listen. We're always thinking of what to say next. And both his friends and Job have many wise things to say to one another, but they don't hear it. Part of what they say is also just attacks. They attack Job and Job attacks them back. But in the midst of those attacks, because they do care, they say some really beautiful things, some really wise things. But they can't hear each other because they're busy defending themselves. Job and his friends are busy defending themselves in this debate that they're having. But his friend is speaking to him right now, and one of the things he says, it's really beautiful, if you ask me. It's talking about towards God. It says, if you prepare your heart, you will stretch out your hands towards him. Beautiful picture, stretching out your hands after your heart is prepared. So his friend tells Job, Job, if you prepare your heart towards God, if you prepare your heart to know God, if you prepare your heart to want God, if you prepare your heart to love God, you will stretch out, you will reach out, you'll try to reach, you'll stretch, just not hold out, but stretch out your hands towards him. He doesn't say you'll stretch out one hand, he says you'll stretch out your hands towards him. So just picture that in your heart and your mind. Picture two people. When you prepare your heart to see someone, to meet someone that you care about, and your heart's prepared, and you see them, you stretch out your arms towards them, to hold them and to be held, to give what you have and to receive what they have, to love and to be loved. If you're a grandparent, picture it towards your grandchildren. You know your grandchildren are coming over for the day. In your heart and your mind, you could be thinking like, oh man, this is going to be a hard one. They're going to be running around touching everything. They're going to expect certain things. I'm grandpa or I'm grandma. They're going to expect certain things. Or you can prepare your heart because they're a joy to be around. When they arrive, you stretch out your hands and they run to you because they see that you love them, and they stretch their hands towards you and you hold them. You give love and you receive love. With a spouse, it's the same thing. In your mind, you can be thinking about problems you have. You can be thinking about certain things you might have said or they might have said to you. Or you can prepare your heart to love them. And you approach them with both arms out, both hands out. And they do the same to you, and you receive and you give. You receive love, you give love. So the picture here is with the one that loves us more than anyone could ever love us. The one whose heart is always prepared to spend time with us. The one that prepared his heart before I was ever created. He prepared his heart to love me. to the one that when I was lost and living in my sin and not caring about anybody but myself, he gave his life that he might spend eternity with me. He stretched out his hands on the cross, allowed spikes to be put through his wrists, allowed himself to be beat. And with those hands he stretches out to me. And here the picture that Job's friend tells him is, Job, prepare your heart. Prepare your heart to be loved and to love. Prepare your heart to give and to receive. Prepare your heart to hold and to be held. Beautiful picture. That's my prayer. As each day we'll prepare our heart. Lord, we want to spend time with you. And we'll approach God with open arms, to be held and to hold, to give our life and to receive life, to love and to be loved. Beautiful picture. The other thing I just want to mention is, let's have open hearts towards those that God sends our way. And sometimes they say things that we may not like, but to listen, because we don't know what else God's going to say through them. When the defenses go up, we can't hear. And when their defenses go up, they can't hear our hearts either. But God's not like that. God doesn't put his defenses up. He's listening. We can speak freely to him. We can say what's on our heart, good or bad. So let's prepare our hearts and approach him and receive and give from the one who's the giver of all good things. Thanks for listening to me today.